Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to go over some Japanese Weiss Schwarz. That's because we found out about Azure Lane Volume 2 and then also Fujimi Fantasia Bunko Volume number 2. Now, Azure Lane pre-orders are open until October 21st, release date January 17th, just a booster box this time around. I know some people are really excited about this, but I really want you to consider that potentially this is coming out for English. It has not been announced. But we are going to find out potentially on Friday if there's going to be an English release. I say potentially because it's never a given what they're really going to talk about, but there is going to be, if this refreshes here for me, there's going to be an English conference Friday night, midnight on the East Coast. So I will be there. I'll be going through that. Hey, hopefully, you can hang out with me as well. There's going to be this consideration that I want you to think about, and that's going to be AGRs. These are autographs and their serial numbers inside potentially the booster box. I say potentially because they're either in the form of the card itself or a redemption card. We don't know quite yet. I think it has something to do with scheduling, as in when they can get the voice actors to sign it. Kind of crazy that they don't know yet, but just showing you the product list here. You can see Uter Camp comes out on November 8th. We have Licorice Coil coming out on November 15th. Nothing been announced for that, and that's a premium booster box. Now, moving on, booster box for ReZero, November 22nd, followed by Nikkei and all the rest. But what I want you to think about here is maybe there is a case where you go, okay, I'm going to pre order this on the Japanese side because of these autographs, potentially, anyways. There's no guarantee that it's going to be in there. There's no guarantee that it'll show up for English, but maybe it will. It makes sense to me that they would have it on the Japanese and English side, as potentially they'll do with Union Arena. Okay, so that's the whole probably catalyst for all of this to begin with. Now, showing you the English side here, what you see with Azure Lane number one, we had a booster box. There was 4 trial decks as well, and it did really well. As you can barely see on the screen, let me zoom in here for you. There was a reprint. It was second edition. It had silver signatures, but you can see the prices of this stuff. Just take a look. First edition booster box 124, down here 61 on the second reprint. Now, when you think about that, a reprint, you would think it would get annihilated, but as I said, with other reprints, it's one of those ones where there's going to be less people buying into the second print. There's going to be a reprint, so people will get enough of what they want. It just comes down to pre-ordering it, and it's still holding up 61.84 at this point. Look at the trial decks, no reprint ever happened on them, but they still did really well in the aftermarket. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. So when you think about Azure Lane, let's say volume 1, it did really well on the English side. So what would take it for not to come to English for a volume number 2? It had to take a lot. They must really hate money, or someone just stopped them from doing it. But you can see here, there's a lot of beautiful cards, and they're pretty expensive. Even some of the silvers, which not everybody likes, have sold as well. Some did, some didn't, but they're still out here. And I think there's a huge love for this set. A lot of it has sold at this point. Now, if you take a look at Fujimi Fantasia Bunko Volume 2, going back in here on why I think it's coming to English, all along I've been saying Fujimi has made a bunch of money. We also know Sneaker Bunko has made a lot of money, never came out to English, but there were some cards, there's IPs that people wanted in it. And now we have it on the JP side. We're starting to see some card reveals for the booster box, for the trial deck. And let me just show you Exhibit A. Here we go. This is going to be uh, High School DxD. We got our Rias here. This is going to be your just base rarity cards. Look at that. When I take a look at these, I start thinking to myself, what does this remind me of? Well, outside of High School DxD, it reminds me of Dengeki, because here are the parallels. Let me scroll up. Here are the parallels. Here's your signature of Rias. Yeah, yeah. I will say some of these pictures, like this one Aquino here, yeah, you could make an argument that that's a little bit, but when you take a look at the other ones, there's not anything crazy in here, right? Here's your data live. I love this Kurumi. Yeah, look at that. She got that going on. Now, just showing you the rest of these. Here's some other ones that I pulled off of Facebook. As you can see, the Bushiroad, if you did not know, has a Facebook page. and then you have cards like this, but you also have cards like this. This screamed to me Dengeki. I was like, man, this looks very familiar to me, and when I take a look at the cards, they definitely do. So there are some cards that you could say, oh wow, but Dengeki had the same thing, right? Where it was just cards that looked okay. Maybe you had some, I guess, looter type stuff, but even then, it wasn't like awful. See, here's one, and take a look at that. There you go. There you go. Right, you could get that from probably Rise Overture. When I think about this, the reason why I tell you all this is because I know there's people that are going to spend too much. They're going to hate the fact that it came out to English because they bought it. They only thought it was going to come out to JP. I'm telling you right now, for me, I think this is coming out to English. I mean, if you are very worried that it's not coming out to English and you don't mind buying it twice, or you just want the JP one, go by all means buy the JP one. But for me, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna roll the dice on that. But everything I'm seeing now, every time they come out with a spoiler, you can see me right on X. Not every time, but a good portion of the time I'm thinking it, or I do rate it, that I'm like, yep, the chances of it coming out to English is a lot higher. So that's where I am on all this product. But do let me know your thoughts down below. But as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.